So we can shit on them, but shorty generous. She wanna pack her little friends inside the 4-door. Looking at the ass, cause you the shit, but shorty in her own class on her. She know how I'm coming by her. In the height of slavery, I probably slapped the shit out of one of them little they ever tried to play with her. Probably lose my life, but shit, I proudly take their love. Simply cause I live for you. I love you like one of my kind, let it cake. You know I care for you. Think I'm funny, anything to put a smile on you, shorty. Shorty such a queen, she got me singing Elvis like the king. I can't help falling in love with something like that. What's going on, y'all? It's your main man 5. First off, what's going on to all the Phish fans? I know it's been a while since we got a chance to sit down and check out some new Phish music. But like I said, I'm starting to go on that journey of checking out the album called The Live One. And I know Eugene, shout out to my dog, he's been asking a lot for me to check out a lot of their music. So I figure it's about time I get back into it. And listening to Harry Hood last time, I remember how surprisingly emotionally evocative that song was. I wasn't really expecting it because of the lackadaisical lyrics and the way that it really just relies so much more on the experience of the live show as opposed to substantial lyrical content. But it wouldn't be me if I didn't find something to talk about listening to all of this music. So I'm excited. You read the title, so you know today we're going to be checking out the intro on that album, and it's called Bouncing Around the Room. Eugene said this is one of his favorite versions of this song that he's heard. So I'm excited to get right into it. If you're interested, as always, I'm gonna put the QR code to our Patreon right here. This along with everything else that we have coming up on the queue. Y'all know we started our second channel where we've been checking out movies and TV and stuff like that. So if you're interested in early access, full and uncut content, along with anything that may get blocked for whatever reason, and just bonus stuff that we're gonna do on there to bless that side, just scan this QR code and go check out. That way you're always up to par and early if you don't want to wait on our YouTube community to figure. My bad. But yeah, if you get my flow back. But yeah, if you're not willing to wait for the YouTube community to figure out what it is that they want us to do, because we're all a family, and I'm only going to be focusing on doing things that the people actually want to see. You live and you learn. It took me a while to get here. But yeah, make sure you go check that out. It's very much so worth it. But yeah, I don't have too much to say. I hope y'all enjoyed this the same way you guys enjoyed the last 2 Phish reactions. And I hope to see a lot of interaction in the comments. This is a very nice community. These guys' fan base is always so welcoming, and I always appreciate that. So let's get into it.
Dream I had, though rather hard to keep. For when my eyes were watching hers, they closed, and I was still asleep. For when my hand was holding hers, she whispered words, and I awoke. And faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. And I awoke, and faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever. I sought was far beneath the surface of the sea. My sight was poor, but I was sure the sirens sang this song for me. They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze, and hear their sweet sound bouncing round the never-ending choral maze. The crystal haze, and hear them bouncing round the room. The never-ending choral maze. Then before and now once more I'm bouncing around the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing around the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing around the room.
favorite thing about them is it's just so easy to get caught up in it. I feel like every time I listen to them, it feels like such an experience because it just feels good. I know I talked a lot when I was listening to Sand, but mostly Harry Hood, the way that it feels welcoming. Just listening to the fact that this is a live album all in itself, it makes me feel immersed inside the experience of what it was like to be front row at a concert like this. And I know you guys have been telling me I'd be very interested to see them live, because if I can feel so immersed in how fun it feels and how frivolous the experience feels, listening to their music just feels like for a brief moment in time, you're able to let go of the stuff that you're going through in your life. For a brief moment in time, you're able to just be present. And I think the older that we all get, some people are more willing to admit their faults than others. I understand that, but I'm one of those people. I understand that the older you get and the more responsibilities that fall on your head, sometimes it's hard to just be present and grateful. I have my days where I find myself feeling very ungrateful of all of the things that I don't deem to be as important as they truly are. Like being able to wake up and get out of bed and walk, being able to get up and use the bathroom on my own, being able to get up and go to work. Even though work sucks, shout out to Eugene, he gets it. Even though work is trash sometimes, I'm appreciative because there's so many people out here struggling that don't have the opportunity or the physical capabilities to be able to stand up and go to work. So although it may not be my favorite place to be, sometimes I have to step back and humble myself enough to understand that you're fucking lucky to be able to work. You get to do this. I'm starting to understand that life is a fucking miserable experience if you look at everything through a negative lens. That's just a little piece of whatever. That has nothing to do with the song, but that just goes to show that just listening to their music has a way of boosting your mood. It has a way of, even if the content of the lyrics are not so deep that it takes me 20 minutes to sit here with you and break down every single line, I love the fact that it just feels so happy. It makes me feel like a place that I would like to be. Hell yeah, this is really dope. And correct me if I'm wrong, is this song just about getting high, or it's like something I have learned listening to them is you shouldn't take the lyrics so deeply that you can't wrap your mind around it, if that makes sense. If y'all watch my channel outside of just my Phish reactions, y'all know I enjoy having something to really break down and connect to the human experience. But this song really just feels like talking about being high and being inside like a euphoric experience, like you acid tripping or you took shrooms and you just like you in that place between being awake and being asleep. It's just that perfect place where people, I ain't gonna put nobody's business out there, but this reminds me of somebody and you know exactly who you are. This song just feels like they're just talking about their experience of just being high and bouncing around the room, floating, seeing different colors, feeling the softness of the experience and just how fun it is. I hear a lot of people say, and I've heard people who've gone to their festivals and to their shows, that they experience and enjoy their shows a lot more under the influence. I think that's dope. And I think that's something that, if you allow it to, can be very mind-opening. Use it with care, use it smartly. Don't just be, yeah. But no, comment down below and let me know if I'm on point with that. A lot of it to me is really just the feeling of euphoria. And I feel like that falls perfectly aligned with what the lyrics were saying. It's really just talking about hearing that soft voice of whatever's coming around in the room and being able to float around. And it really just feels like the same way that the song feels. I love the energy of the way that the guitar is being played. I love that all the instruments are coming into a unison and making you feel like you're floating out of your chair. That's what the experience felt like for me, at least. And I love the fact that they're so fun with the way that they sing their songs. It's not so much just focused on, not just lyrics, but it's not focused on having the best singer singing the song, but it's just focused on having that that calming voice. It's funny how the experience of the band inside the song feels like the representation of what they're hearing while they're high in the song. Tell me if that makes sense, but that's what it feels like. I love the way that the background singers are just flowing so perfectly off of the lead. Trey is always going crazy. I just think they're really dope. Comment down below, let me know if you kind of got that same feeling. Is this song just about being high and that euphoric experience of being in a room while high? I don't want to make it deeper than it has to be, but make sure y'all comment down below. Suggest some more Phish songs that y'all like for me to check out. What's your personal favorites? And yeah, I'm excited to get deeper into their catalog, and I'm excited to get deeper into this album. So if y'all want me to keep going down the a Live One album track list, get this video to 200 likes so I know you enjoyed it. Make sure you comment some warm remarks and tell me what this song takes you back to. Tell me what it feels like for you, and share a personal experience that you have with this music. I always like to read those because people seem to be the most happy when they're able to reflect on the positive times. And that goes a lot into what I was saying. So yeah, 200 likes. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bell so you stay in tune every time we drop another banger like this one. And as always, like I said, I'm gonna put the QR code to our Patreon right here. Shout out to all of our beautiful patrons. Make sure you get in tune. I know I explained a lot of it, but we have a lot of great content coming out at a very rapid pace. And if you want to stay in tune with it, along with a lot of really cool exclusives that we have coming up, scan this QR code so you can stay in tune with everything that we got going on. It's a very exciting time. We finally started to, I don't know if I was even here the last time, but you know, we got a new place. We're starting to build our PC setup. We're starting to set up the background. You see the lights, and it's going to come together and be real beautiful. And it's because of you guys and our patrons that we've been able to accumulate some things. So the support is beyond appreciated. And the warm welcomeness of you guys and this fan base make it feel so good to be able to do this music, because trust me, there's some asshole fan bases. Yeah. Eugene can comment down below because he knows exactly who I'm talking about. But until the next time, I go by the name of 5, and that's all I got. Peace.
How does this go? You wanna know? You've never been here before. Go with the flow. We'll take it slow. No need to rush. They don't gotta know.